What up, everybody? Nikolai here, the Selenium expert, ready to teach you guys how to become experts at identifying elements using Selenium WebDriver. In fact, I'm going to teach you how to become experts at identifying any elements with any tool, but our focus is obviously on Selenium WebDriver. So, what you're going to master through this section is you're going to learn some basics of the HTML, just so you have a little foundational understanding of what's going on. You're going to learn a lot of XPath expressions, because XPath is going to be our main key to identifying our elements with Selenium WebDriver. Therefore, I'm going to teach you guys to be excellent at it. And finally, overall goal of this course is to make you guys amazing in identifying any elements with any tools, anytime, doesn't matter what it is, again with the focus of utilizing Selenium WebDriver. Now, there are some prerequisites to this part of the course. You obviously need the code, which you can get here on github.com/nadvolod/lightpom for page object model framework tutorial. That's the code with some samples of that we're going to be going through. You're going to need the Selenium IDE, which looks like that. You're going to need Firefox installed. You're going to need Firebug installed and FirePath installed. If you don't know how to install any of those, then you need to go back and watch the portion of the course that talks about how to install all of these. Oh, and also you're going to need Visual Studio, because we're going to be writing code in C# for Selenium WebDriver, so you obviously need Visual Studio IDE to help you write that code. Also, I would recommend that you just have a very basic understanding of Selenium IDE and Selenium WebDriver. If you don't, this might be a little bit harder for you to understand. So go back and review those sections of the course before proceeding any further, because you don't want to be running before you learn how to walk, right? That's not how it works. First you crawl, then you walk, then you run. So don't jump into the running right away. Learn how to crawl by getting your basics down. So go check out that portion if you don't have anything installed, and if you need to get familiar a little bit with Selenium IDE and Selenium WebDriver and Visual Studio. And afterwards, you'll be ready to proceed. Some other extra resources that you may want to reference through portions of this course is W3 Schools, which is excellent for teaching you HTML and XPath. So you can go ahead, check those out on your own if you feel like you need more resources. However, my goal is to make you guys phenomenal at identifying elements. So hopefully, if I do my job right, you won't really need those resources. But if you do, and you just want to be that super overachiever, then that's where you can go, w3schools/html or w3schools.com/xsl/xpath_nodes.asp. And as always, before we proceed, I love to start out with an inspirational quote just to motivate you guys and light a fire under your butts to get you going and working. Today's quote is brought to you by Ralph Waldo Emerson, one of the greatest writers in the world. And he says that our greatest glory is not never failing, but in rising up every time we fail. And I think that it's so true, because a lot of people that I've seen in the industry, and myself included, we are so scared to fail. We are so scared to make mistakes, to do something wrong, when in fact we should not be. Because as he says, our greatest glory is not in the failure, but in rising up. Every time we fail, every time we do make a mistake, we rise up, we pick ourselves back up, and we continue. We don't give up. Anytime we come across something tough that we're learning with Selenium WebDriver, we don't give up. We master it. We work at it one day at a time, 1 minute at a time, until we fully understand everything. Don't get discouraged, guys. There's a lot of tough topics here that we're going to be covering, and they are new to almost everybody, I'm sure. So do not get discouraged. Just keep at it. Rise up from your failures. You will become strong. You will become amazing. I believe in you. There was a point in time where I knew absolutely nothing about any of this as well. And yes, it was freaking tough to learn all of it. And I'm still learning it every single day. I am no master by any means. But what I do well is I continue to work at it every single day, improve my skills, and anywhere that I feel like I'm failing, I improve upon those failures. And I want you to do the same. Don't quit, and you'll be the best that you can be. So with all that said, let's go ahead and jump in to our lessons.